World-class guests, fascinating stories, inspiring messages. Welcome to Linda's Corner. My name is Linda Bjork, and today we're going to be talking about personal advancement. I'm delighted to welcome special guest Dom Brightmon. Dom is a top-rated podcast host, certified self-leadership trainer, award-winning speaker, and the author of several books, including Going North, Stay the Course, and Crappy to Happy. You can reach Dom at his website, dombrightmon.com, and I'll include a link in the description. Welcome, Dom. I'm so glad that you could join with me today.
Hey, well, I appreciate sharing some time with you, Linda. I'm loving what you're doing. Get to be in the corner with you. It's a happy corner.
Oh, I'm so glad. I love having people on my corner. It feels like you're on my side. And I love having a team. Every time I have a chance to talk with someone, it feels like my team just gets a little bigger and a little better. So I'm super excited to have you as part of my team. And I absolutely love your mantra about advancing others to advance yourself. What an awesome pay it forward kind of a mentality. And I think that that is so beautiful. And today I am so excited to be learning about E's, C's, and keys as you talk about the 5 E's of leadership and the 5 C's of explosive growth and the 4 keys for rock solid optimism. So I am so excited for you to just teach me all of the things.
Well, I didn't know this was going to be a 36-hour podcast interview. Okay, all right.
Oh, maybe we can shrink it to a 36-minute podcast.
Yeah, the 5 C's, the E's. I'm like, those are separate keynotes.
Wow. Okay. Well, if we don't have time to go through all of them, that is okay. But which one do you want to go on today? Do you want to talk about C's or E's, or do you want to talk about the keys?
I'll take, you know what? I'll let you choose since you know your audience the best. Go ahead and take your pick. It's all good.
Let's start with keys then.
But yes, the keys. Magical keys for elite performance. My goodness. The wonderful thing about the keys for elite performance is that I put in a nice acrostic. And for those taking notes, you could probably pull out your pen because it's one of those pen moments on a magical podcast. It's in a nice little acronym called MITCH. So MITCH. So the M stands for mental awareness, being aware of your mind. The I stands for influence awareness, being aware of the things that affect all the things that influences your wonderful body, mind, and spirit. Then there's the T, which is time awareness, because time management is a fallacy and it's really all about attention management. And then there's the C, which is connection awareness, because you got to be aware of what you're connecting to, more importantly, who you're connecting to. So, networking with super special, awesome, fabulous people. And the H is for habit awareness, where it puts all the other awareness types together like a wonderful glove. So, you got the M for mental awareness, the I for influence awareness, and the T for time awareness, and of course the C for connection awareness, and the H for habit awareness.
Wow. And I should have had my pen. I'm trying to listen, and so I didn't have a chance to write everything down. Do you have time to elaborate on those a little bit, or is just that intro, that tantalizing intro, what we get?
Of course, we can elaborate. Let's unwrap this gift for the magical season of giving and receiving, which is 24/7, 365.
Good point.
That's right. It's like, hey, if you got gifts, we're happy to receive them any time of the year. If it's 3 a.m., you want to slide some random G's into the random PayPal.me, it's a-okay. We both, Linda and I, are happy to receive gifts at any time of the day, I'm telling you. That's right,
Absolutely.
indeed. But yes, today we'll start off with the mental awareness. So, of course, one of the biggest things you'll hear in the entrepreneurial space once you get on social media is having your mind right, having your mindset right. And one of the biggest things you can do for yourself is to have the Shoshin mindset, the in mindset. It's where you combine the two Japanese philosophies of Shoshin, the beginner's mind, with Kaizen, continuous improvement, where you're continuously improving as a beginner in the stages of life. Now, granted, we don't want to always be a beginner, but we want to have the energy, the enthusiasm, and the curiosity of a beginner. Because in this wonderful life that we have to always try to grow at least 1% better every single day of our lives. And if you do that, that'll help you to become better and not butter. Because one of the things I like to do is try to expand my mind by usually expanding my little arsenal of corny jokes that I tell to people, all the way to reading personal and professional development books to see if I can get anything new out of them. Heck, even writing, and heck, even getting on podcasts like these, because I remember listening to one preacher where he mentioned that even though we learn more by listening as opposed to talking, sometimes our best teachings can come from our mouth, because from the heart the mouth speaks. And one of the most powerful things that came out of my mouth that I wasn't even written down first was a powerful question, is what blessings am I leaving on the table? How can I not leave any blessings on the table? And that's a question that everybody can take for themselves. Is there a particular moment in your life where you're like, man, like there's so many things I could do today, or there's so little, but where's the blessing in the situation? Hey, this darn COVID's still out there running rampant. Like I've lost some friends, but I'm still alive to tell the tale. I can still protect myself and try to keep up my immune system and all that good stuff, all the way to, hey, I made a book sale today. If you're an author, it's like, hey, one sale is better than no sales. Or heck, even getting to work on time, getting back to work safely, because heck, even now where folks are back to commuting, and especially in the DMV area of the United States, traffic is hell. It's hell 2.0 on Earth.
Dang it. Hopefully, a lot of jobs that they have learned that they can make that transition to being able to do that telecommute. So hopefully the traffic should improve a little bit. I guess you're not seeing that.
Oh no, it actually got worse because a lot of folks are trapped at home for so long they forgot how to drive, and then of course they get a little more antsy and less patient. So it's like, oh crap, like you can't even wait a second, like like cross streets. When the light turns green, I have to pause and go slow because sometimes folks are still zooming by trying to catch the yellow light, even though it's not yellow anymore. So yeah.
Mhm. Yes, we have to remember to learn how to drive. Okay. Yeah.
Didn't expect that on today's episode, did you?
Well, it's a true story, though. Here where I live, we have, four seasons and we have winter and snow. And it seems like that first snowfall, everybody forgot everything that they knew last year. It's like, oh, wait. So we have to do that relearning a little bit every year till we get through that first snowstorm, through that first whatever. And then it's just like, oh, yeah. Okay. Like, get the brain on, get it in gear. We can do this.
Yeah, that belongs on a t-shirt. Get the brain on us, right?
So I like the idea of not leaving the blessings on the table. So my mental image here is that you have this smorgasbord of blessings and that there's something that you're not noticing, that you're just leaving there, that you're not partaking of. Is that what you mean by leaving your blessings on the table?
Oh, of course, that's definitely what I mean. Because funny enough, it was actually a few years ago, which I can't believe is like 8 years ago. I joined this organization called Toastmasters International, where folks become better speakers and leaders. And I originally joined because I volunteered to spearhead a public speaking seminar at my church for free to help out the folks in the community. And I had
Wonderful.
about a good, oh, thank you. And it took about a good 6 months or so from the time I heard about Toastmasters to the event. And I'm like, all right, let me just network with people, build relationships, learn more, and see how I can put a seminar together. Heck, maybe even recruit somebody from the organization to speak at the event. And the event went on with a success. We had about a good 90 attendees, and I learned a big lesson of never advertising audience participation on the agenda of your public speaking program, because it went from 90 for the first half where they heard my friends speak all the way to the second half where there was maybe 10 people left. So
Oh
public
no,
speaking
everybody
fear
ran
is real.
away because the idea of speaking. I have heard it said that public speaking is one of the most terrifying things that we can do. There are people who will attend a funeral and they would rather be the guy in the casket than the guy up front talking because it just is so scary for so many people. And you have been teaching people how to speak and how to be able to step out of that comfort zone. So if you were to do that again, and give yourself some advice, would you have left out the part about let's invite you to come and be a part of this and we'll just teach you while you're watching?
Yeah, I probably definitely would have had my buddy try to incorporate more his participation into his presentation. Now, granted, it was a darn good presentation. It was great because he ended off with a story. He got a standing ovation. Like, folks enjoyed it. And yeah, definitely. Heck, even now, I could even do it myself now, too, if I really wanted to. So definitely would have snuck it in there a lot more sneakily as opposed to just putting it straight clear what it is. Because it's great to be direct, but it doesn't always pay to be direct sometimes. You have to be indirect.
Sometimes we have to be, I guess, enticed, get that little teaser of, let me feel safe. And after I feel safe, then I can step outside of my comfort zone and I can do something a little more and be positive. And that's one of your things, is talking about being rock solid optimism and being happy and joyful. And sometimes it's hard to be happy and joyful when someone says, you're going to be up here speaking because, scary.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, it's so darn true. It is so darn true because yeah, especially in the times that we're in, to seem to get more interesting as time goes on, as opposed to to a semblance of normal, if that's even a thing now still. And folks are like, oh God, is it gonna get any better? Like, oh my gosh, yesterday was January. Why is it freaking November?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of crazy how the months just, they just pass. And we're learning how to play adapt, aren't we? And there's a
Hmm.
new normal, and the normal is to be able to handle the changes that come our way. And so that's kind of sort of the thing that we're doing as we're talking and we're sharing our expertise and our experiences, to be able to say, you know what? You're stronger than you think you are. You can do things that maybe you didn't know that you can do, because you are better than you think you are. And if you reach inside and be able to pull out that awesome greatness that is in there, you can do this. And I think sometimes we need that reminder, is that we can do this, even though things are challenging.
Well, yeah, you could definitely say that again. Heck, even a fun takeaway for folks to take home with is I'm sure a lot of your listeners are familiar with the gratitude journal, listing a few things you're grateful for. But hey, if you want to do a little mind switch, turn the switch on that, call it a victory log. Count the things that not only you're grateful for, but the things that was actually a win for you today. So waking up today, that's a win. Got to the gym, even though you didn't feel like it, that's a win. Like working out, that's definitely a win, especially when the COVID-19 was more of the pounds that people gained as opposed to the actual virus for some people. So losing even one of those gained pounds, that's a win. Reading even a few chapters out of a book, a few pages out of a book, if you're so used to listening to podcasts and getting content without reading, like that's a win. Like securing that contract, that coaching client, getting that promotion, like just tracking down your wins, and then after a while you'll realize you have a journal of proof of the blessings that you have in your life, the wins that you've had in your life. And then when you're feeling down, heck, even yesterday myself, I needed to remind myself, like, man, like 10 years ago, like, like darn, like you get my purse, the Dom of 2011 was probably like a good 160 pounds, as opposed to the Dom of today, which is a little over 200. And he's like, man, you gained the weight back? I thought you would have kept it off. But hey, I'm working on that, but I still at least have 500 podcast episodes plus to my name and 3 books. So hey, it's not going to be all bad in your future. It's always counting those victories that you have to at least keep yourself in that positive mindset, keep yourself in that positive frame of mind through just tracking your wins and keeping score of all of your wins in your life to remind yourself later of them.
That is such fantastic advice. It is common for people at the end of the day to think of all the things that they didn't get done. It's like, oh, my to do list is only halfway done. Or what, all these things that I didn't do. And by turning that around and putting the focus on what you did do and what you did accomplish, it does magical things to your mind, because our minds, it's like a little framework where it does what we ask it to. If we say, hey, what did I do wrong today? How did I screw up? What am I missing? Your brain will say, oh, you want to know what you messed up and what you forgot to do? Well, okay, we'll look those things up for you. And if you turn it around and say, what successes did I have and what wonderful things did I accomplish today? That sometimes takes a little while to get into that mindset. But once you do, your brain will cooperate and say, oh, actually, look what you did today. And you accomplished this, and you did that, and you did this. And as we focus on those positive things, then it can build on those wonderful present moments that we are wonderful and that we can do great things because we are doing great things. I was talking with someone recently who had a challenge in her life, and she was thinking, "Dang, I don't think I can do this. This is hard. I can't do with this hard thing." And the truth is, she was doing hard things all along. This was just a new hard thing, a different hard thing, something that she hadn't encountered before. And she rolled up her sleeves, went day by day, and made it through that challenge just like she did the other ones. So that's beautiful advice, that victory journal. What did you call it? Victory log?
Hey, you can call it both. Like whatever works for you. Like that's the main thing. Like this ain't the be all end all. I'm not God here giving you the 10 Commandments. I'm just a regular human sharing some things that have helped me that might help you.
That is beautiful. And I love that because that is an action step. That is something that we can do. It's not just a cheerleader speech that says, hey, you should be happy and you should be optimistic and you should be positive. This is showing an actual concrete thing that we can do to help bring that positivity into our lives. So that is, I think, very, very valuable. Do you have any other beautiful little tidbits to share?
Yep, sure. This can even stem off of the first tip of mental awareness is focusing on being a servant leader is asking yourself powerful questions because questions always desire a response. And the thing is, you can't just ask a question, leave it out there forever. Like you're going to be thinking about it, even though you don't verbally say something first. Like, great, I got to answer it. So another like the tip I like to drop usually on a lot of shows for developing your mindset is asking yourself at least a good three powerful questions. The first one is especially before you go to bed, so your brain can stew on it and cook on it the night before. Is what good will I do today? What good will I do today? And you can always think of an answer, write it down on a big 4x6 index card if you'd like. And then you can write down an idea. It's like, hey, I'm going to contact a new podcast host today. Hey, I'm going to follow up with somebody I haven't followed up in a while. I'm going to call somebody I haven't talked to in a while and try to brighten the day and catch up with them. And then a follow up to that is what can I share? Focusing on sharing some time, and heck, even some talent. Maybe if you have the energy and the actual time available, you can always contribute some of your time to a volunteer project, a fundraising project, helping out a friend with some moving if they're moving from one place to another. And of course, at the end of the day, is asking yourself two other questions: is one, what good did I do today? And if you did something good today and it was actually a thing you wrote down, then that's again playing on the victory log slash victory journal. It's like, hey, I did something good today. Let's write that down. That's a win. And also, what did I learn today as a result? And one of the major things that I've learned, especially in interviews, that sometimes, especially with both of us being speakers and communicators, is trying not to give listeners the whole house. Don't give them like a freaking 50-pound steak for them to try to consume in 2 minutes. It's just not going to work. Try to give them something that they can consume and chew on a little bit. So, just those four questions.
That is excellent. And I love, again, you're bringing this pay it forward and trying to do some good and trying to create some good in the world. And I think that does such beautiful things for us when we are concerned and we are putting an effort into helping other people. It comes around. It comes around and it helps us in the process. And all those things you mentioned, like making connections and talking to people and doing things, all of those give us experience, give us that practice, help us to be able to become better and stronger, and then better able to give something in the future. So I love all of those things. And it is very true that as we're talking and listening, things seem to be simplified a little bit because as we're listening, it's a little different than if we're reading. And I know that you're a voracious reader and you find that there's lots of gold in the libraries. So, are there some good books that you've read recently? There was something that you picked up in your reading?
Man, I feel like I'm finally getting back into the swing of reading because, man, there's so many books I can list. One book I've been going through, like quite a few of them. One's called Growth Hacker Marketing by Ryan Holiday, where it kind of goes and drills down to the science of modern day hacking, where well, marketing as a hacker or hacker marketing, where you're actually focusing on ideal clients as opposed to trying to pray and spray over everybody with your business. That's one book I've been going through. It's a nice short read. Another one is The Grit Factor by Shannon Huffman Paulson. And funny enough, she was actually on the Going North podcast, so I've been taking my time with that. And a third one for the listeners. Let's see. There are so many. Off the top of my head, I think the next one will probably be John Maxwell's book Leader Shift, and that's probably one of my favorite books by him. It's probably my second favorite book from him out of the 150 plus he's put out into the world, because it's just so full of gems. I finished the book, but I always reread the book every now and then to see if I can get anything new out of it, because I've underlined and highlighted so much from it. And heck, even being part of his team as one of his leadership trainers, like that's one of the main books I usually draw from when helping organizations, especially during this time. And funny enough, that book came out a year before COVID started, so leadership was very timely.
Very. Well, thank you. I haven't read that one, so I'm going to have to pick it up. That sounds like excellent advice. So, thank you for all the things that you've shared. And I love the idea of paying it forward and working together on being able to help make the world a better place. And I also love that idea of putting together that victory and working on our mindset to be able to create a positive space in us and then be able to go forth from there. So thank you for everything that you shared and for visiting with me today.
Oh, thank you, Linda. I appreciate you and all the work that you do, because you're doing some fabulous work. And heck, even classic verse going to paraphrase out of the Bible, we're more than conquerors. So, hey, that victory log goes with the fact that, hey, we're born to be more than conquerors if you're a Christian listening today. So remember, we're more than conquerors. Keyword, more than conquerors. You're not meant to just conquer, but you're meant to do more than that. So always remember that.
Oh, that's beautiful. What an excellent thought. In closing, I like to share a quote by John Holmes. He said, "There is no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting people up." Today, I invite you to advance yourself by reaching down and lifting someone else. See you next time on Linda's Corner.